study,
and play come together on a Windows 11 PC.
And for a limited time, college students get
The best of both worlds.
Get the Unreal College Deal. Everything you need to study and play with select Windows 11 PCs. Eligible students get a year of Microsoft 365 Premium and a year of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with a custom color Xbox wireless controller. Learn more at windows.com/student offer. While supplies last. Ends June 30th. Terms at aka.ms/collegepc.
This episode is brought to you by Prime. What if you had one more chance with the one that got away?
Sam,
you came home.
Based on the best-selling novel from Carly Fortune. Every year after follows childhood friends Sam and Percy as they reunite in the dreamy, nostalgic lakeside town of Barry's Bay.
Love can be hard to find. So if you're lucky enough to find that person, never let go.
A second chance at first love. Every year after. Streaming June 10th, only on Prime.
Ariana Grande, I Hate That I Made You Love Me. Let's talk about it. How y'all doing? Welcome to Let's Talk About It, Music Reviews Season 12. How y'all doing? Welcome to the show. We're back with another episode, and we're talking about the one and only Ariana Grande. It's been honestly quite a while. I think the last time we talked about Ariana Grande was the Eternal Sunshine album, which I will say, they had some pretty good tracks on there. It wasn't too bad. I mean, there was some songs on there that I was just kind of like, what the fuck am I even listening to? But I feel like that's honestly what you're getting into when you're listening to 2020, when you're listening in the 2020s pop music. Sometimes there's just music where I'm just like, what are we doing? Now we are back with the unnecessary long-ass titles. This title is so fucking long that it's like, goddamn. Does that mean the song's going to be fire? Does that mean the song's going to hit? Does that mean I'm going to have a good time listening to it? Well, let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Starting off, I will say, this kind of reminds me of I would say if you listen to SZA, and, I don't want to base every time I listen to a kind of sadistic, kind of droopy, kind of low tone, kind of R&B, emotional beat. I don't always want to say it has that SZA sound to it. But, when you're just constantly having the same drum pattern that she uses, and honestly using the same synths, using the same, guitar style, and using the same build-up, the same beat drops, and then, you have this, cool, bass water droplet effect that that I've heard from SZA songs too, that plays and loops throughout this whole entire song. So you have all of those elements working for you, which I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I think this beat kind of struggles with honestly sounding the same throughout the whole entire song. There is not one moment where this beat switches up. There's not one moment where the drums switch up, or, there's a different type of synth, or, I don't know, maybe we put a different EQ on the water droplet effect. There's absolutely nothing that is making this beat stand out. So what you get is the same loopy ass beat that plays throughout the whole entire song. The only time the beat switches up, and I'm going to say very lightly switches up, because, the only thing that switches up is that, guess what? The beat calms down. They turn the volume down. The drums go away for a second, and then the drums come back to finish off the song. So there's not really much to this beat.
This summer, serve up the Cookout Classics, Heinz Ketchup, and Kraft Singles. Every good burger needs a layer of perfectly melty cheese and thick, rich ketchup. We all know it's not a cookout without Heinz and Kraft.
When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
It kind of sounds a little bit generic. It kind of sounds a little bit soulless, and I'm just going to be honest with you, I've heard way better. I've heard way better. sometimes you can't just rely on background vocals to help out a generic beat. Sometimes you're going to need a beat switch up. Sometimes you're going to need the drums to switch up. Sometimes you're going to need to use real live instrumentation to make the song feel unique and sound unique. So this beat absolutely does struggle with the fact that, there's no switch ups. There's nothing really holding it together. This beat is kind of just basic as fuck. And I guess it's sad to say, but I really am not a fan of it. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. I've heard better. I've seen better. And from Ariana Grande, I've been covering her music for a long ass time. I mean, since I've been doing this show, we're going on to 6 years of this show. I swear I've heard goddamn better. So even in Ariana Grande standards, this is even generic in that standard. And I think it gets worse as we listen to the song, because the two verses, the beginning verse I'd say is pretty alright, pretty good. The singing is fine. I like the vocals. It's kind of relying on Ariana Grande only doing this low pitch. She keeps up with this low pitch, kind of that old mature R&B sound that I do like, but it is kind of overplayed when you're doing it on the whole entire song. When there's not any vocal variation, when there's not anything really, grabbing me vocal-wise. And then once we get to the hook, I am sorry to say, but, one of the things this hook struggles with is that when it transitions from the verse to the hook, well, guess what, guys? The hook is the same vocal flexion, the same vocal style as the verses. So when I switch over to the hook, it still sounds the damn same. And it still sounds the same boring-ass low-tone vocals. And that is kind of a problem when the vocals on the hook is just her repeating the fucking title of the song. And the only thing she does is say the title of the song. Like, I kid you not, she's just repeating the same thing over and over and over again. And sometimes that can work. Sometimes, artists can do that, and they can do repetitive style hooks, and that can really work. But when it's the same as the verses, it just comes off a little too lazy. It comes off a little too, what the fuck am I even listening to? It comes off, I'd rather, bang my head on a chalkboard, get run over by a big-ass fucking truck than listen to this damn song. That's what the kind of the vibes I'm getting. When there is only one part of the song that actually has a meaningful switch up, when the background vocals sound really good, she kind of switches up on the bridge to this more kind of R&B vocal-like tone that sounds really good, and she switches up her vocals. They're more deeper, they sound better.
This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Where is Daredevil? I'm right here. Don't miss the return of Marvel Television's Daredevil Born Again.
So what's next?
I feel liberated.
We're gonna take this city back.
Over medicated.
In an all-new season, now streaming only on Disney+.
They're hunting us. It's time we started hunting them.
I can work with that.
This should be tons of fun.
Marvel Television's Daredevil Born Again, now streaming only on Disney+.
And you only get that for, I kid you not, less than 10 seconds. And then we are right back onto the generic-ass hook. And guess what, guys? This hook is played like 3 or 4 times, so this is what I'm going to say is a cut, copy, paste hook. There's nothing different about the hook. There's no variation. There's no switch-ups. There's no nothing to keep me going back, so it's just cut, copied, and paste. And then the worst part is the second verse. Maybe I'm expecting a switch up. Maybe I'm expecting something a little bit different on the second verse. I kid you not. The second verse is the same as the beginning as the first verse. Like, you could fucking intertwine these two verses and they would sound the exact fucking same. How do you do that? That's just fucking lazy. So overall, when we talk about Ariana Grande, Hate That I Made You Love Me. This song kind of sadly falls into just kind of being generic. So hopefully her new album has some more better sounds in this. Hopefully her new album has better songs in this. I mean, maybe this is like a radio single, you know, like I don't fucking know. But what I'm hearing today does not sound that good. And it sounds a little too cut, copy, and paste. And it sounds a little too lazy in my opinion. So overall, I'm just going to have to give this song a nice, I'll give it a 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10, guys. What y'all think about it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? I don't know. Let me know. If you're on YouTube, Spotify, Pandora, wherever you get your podcast at, make sure you follow, turn notification, guys. We're dropping new content every single day. And I know, I'm ready. I'm ready for the comments to tell me, no, you're wrong. You know, the beat's not the same. The beat does have some switch-ups. You know, the vocals do switch up. I'm ready for the comments. And I'm just going to tell y'all, you're fucking lying to yourself. You're fucking coping. All right, you are straight just coping. And hey, I guess sometimes we have to do that. But I'm just going to be real with y'all. This is probably one of the worst new Ariana Grande songs I've heard. So good job. Good job, Ariana Grande. Hopefully you come out with some better music and I'll sell her. You have a good one. Yeah, guys.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Bye.